Hey, good morning, Anya. How you doing?
Good morning, Brandon. How are you today?
Good. It looks to me like we're going to swap some gears, and instead of the horses being taller than you're going to be taller than the ponies. And
Well, that's a first in my life.
well, you know what? A horse is a horse, and they all have the same kind of mental and emotional needs and quirks. So we're going to see how that works a little bit differently. I know we've drove a little bit together, and we'll just go through the harnessing process and have you do it. I think we got a squire there to help you if you need, but just go ahead and do it, and we'll listen to you narrate what you're doing as you do it. And if I hear something or you have a question, then we'll step in. But I'll largely wait for your questions.
Sounds great. So everyone, this is Kaylin, Brandon's son. He's my little helper here in case I completely mess up. But so I'm going. Let me narrate. So first here we have the collar. This right here is little Captain Clark. So we're going to start out with him by fitting this collar. And this is, Brandon, I appreciate your instruction yesterday. You did such a wonderful job explaining not just how to fit everything, but the purpose of the different parts of the harness. So that was super helpful.
Yeah, and I'm glad that helped. And full disclosure again, I am not a teamster. I am not a coachman. I'm just a hack at this, really, truly. And if anyone knows anything, it's probably more than I do when it comes to using some animals in draft or in harness. So it is what it is, and we do the best we can. And I wish I was an expert at it, but I am no expert. So we muddle through it, but we're largely successful.
I mean, everything that you talked about yesterday made sense. So let me just unbuckle all these straps. So Brandon, like you were saying yesterday, I'm learning that no matter how you put all these things away, it's super easy to get everything tangled. So it just takes a second to get everything straightened out.
Well, and if you look at the difference between the harness you're putting on and the harness that Kalen has in his arms, look at the tangled mess that it looks like, but when it's orderly and systematically put away, it comes right back off and on that animal like it should. So no, it's all about having a system, and that's been passed down from probably the first time somebody really got a harness messed up, and they went, "There's got to be a better way." A pack saddle's the same way. You take the britchin off, you lay it into the middle of the saddle, and then you take the wrist collar off, you lay it in the middle, or your cinch, and then your breast collar comes off and holds them both down, and it comes off a nice, neat, tight little package that's easily transported and easily put back on in the middle of it. No problem. So tell us what you're
absolutely saying. Okay, so right now I'm working on this belly strap here. The girth, it looks like we unbuckled it from the inside last time. Thank you, Kalen. Kalen is helping me get my lines, which on a saddle horse we would call the rein. On a driving horse or pony, we call that the line. Kalen was straightening those out for me so they're not tangled and in the way. So next here, and refresh my memory, what was this strap underneath here called, Brandon? Or Kalen, if you know?
That's a pull strap.
The pull strap, yes.
That attached.
And that connects to. What was that? You were breaking up a little bit there.
No, I was waiting for you to tell me what those were. Those straps coming off your bridge.
Well, darn it! I was hoping that by asking you for it, you could refresh my memory on this.
Those are your quarter straps.
The quarter straps, that's correct. The quarter straps, my britchin back here, which essentially works as my brake.
Yep. Well, your britchin, your quarter strap, and your pull strap that attaches to your harness, or your front, is all part of your braking system.
Absolutely, wonderful. So everything else here looks good.
Yeah, that'll attach to your pole or tongue, and then you're working. backwards with your horse.
Run a quick,
Comes
let
forward.
me run a quick brush over this.
Now, one thing
All
I
right,
want
Lee,
to
give me 1 second.
You bet. I'll talk.
Oh, what was that?
I'll talk through the need for this belly band to be just a little bit tighter, but these guys have lost some roundness from when they were harnessed and used 4 years ago. They're in a little healthier state. Susanna's, not letting them get portly, or had you guys really are the ones doing it, I think, on her order. But because of that, these horses, particularly these small horses, get quite round and rotund, and that takes up some of that space. So they're in a healthy state right now. They're lean. They look good. And so consequently, this harness is a little bit loose on them in the belly band area. So we've taken some measurements, and I think I'm going to pass it on to Suzanne so she can maybe get some new belly bands made with buckles so that it does fit a little bit tighter. I'm not too worried about it because these guys are so well acclimated back to what they were doing 4 years ago. I don't expect any runaways. There's no issues with them. So, but still, you want your harness to fit.
Absolutely, yeah.
And look at that. You're harnessing 2 horses now, and about the time it took you to do 1 yesterday. Good job.
Thank you. I mean, it helps with Kaylin here handing everything over to me in just perfect order.
Very good. Very nice.
Very good. Wonderful. Thank you, Kaylin. Sure. Lines are good over here. So right now I'm just adjusting the hames. Is that correct?
Correct.
Over the collar here. Well, I guess the collar would be the whole thing, right?
Yeah, the collar is the
whole thing. So over the front whale. So I'm adjusting the hames over the front whale here, making sure it's centered on top, and then getting it nice and snug because we want to make sure the hames doesn't pop off of the front whale.
Yeah,
get that nice and snug.
There's kind of a groove there on that whole collar. The anatomy of that is, you got that a small rim of that in the front is called the fore whale, and the back of it is called the aft whale or rear whale, depending on your terminology. But it creates a groove, and that's what that hame sits in. And you're right, it keeps it from, as long as your hame strap on the bottom is tight, it keeps it from popping off forward, and it certainly won't come off the back, and that's where you are able to pull or draft into that collar with your hames, and that's what you pull your load from your traces onto your single trees and your double tree configuration. Whether you're in a pair or teams or just a single.
All right, so I attached my quarter straps here. What is going on here? There we go. So, Kaylin, would you look at this? For some reason, this doesn't feel centered here, and I don't know if you can see that. Let me back him up, Brandon, so maybe you can see. I don't know if you can zoom in with the camera, but so we're not really centered here. It seems like, oh, there we go. Never mind, I adjusted it.
There you go. Yeah. And
you just have to be smarter than the equipment.
Well, that brings up a good point. Just the movement alone, sometimes you just shake it a little bit, move it, center it, and it will align itself because it's fit well to these animals once you get that initial fit done. So, no, you just solved your problem, and doing that is the right thing to do.
Good. All right, great. So then as a next step, I would now bridle these guys up and then remember to attach and it's not called a check rein, is it a top check? Overcheck. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, good.
And for those of you that didn't hear, I didn't think of that myself. Kaylin whispered the answer in my ear, so I can't take credit for that. I tried to call it a top check, and he's like, overcheck.
Different term. You could probably say that it's really called a top check in some countries, and you could have BS our way, and we would have believed you.
Yeah, so I could just, make things up, and no one would be any wiser.
Yeah, you just create your own language. That way you're never wrong.
I think I would guilt trip myself too much to do something like that.
There, look what you did. You fixed the mistake that I made the other day when I was bridling them. Is I didn't pull that over check over
well, I mean, that was the day that I wasn't here and I wasn't asking questions and I wasn't watching, but I did learn from seeing you make that mistake.
Yeah, I sure did. I definitely made that. There's some bridles that overcheck will come right to the top of the crown or the piece of that bridle as well. So they're just different configurations. That one happens to come on both sides. And so you just have to look at your harness and see how it's configured and set up.
Okay. Oh, and look at here. Kaylin's already got the other half set up for me. Wonderful. Thank you. Brandon, can I keep him? Does he have to go back to the Army?
Well, I don't know. If I get dibs on him because I got a lot of work I need done. I think
we could probably share him. I'm not greedy.
Well, I think that's why he went to the Army in the first place, to get away from all his work.
To get away from you?
Yeah.
Get away from the work. All right. So I think we're ready to head back.
Yeah. Now what you need to do is what I would do is, since they're standing there where they need to be, is go ahead and attach your lines and your crossover lines so that you're just ready to drive them over to your wagon.
Sounds great. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to move Clark a little bit closer to Lewis here. Got it, little man. Come on. And we'll get these lines attached.
Yeah, you know you're worked or overworked when you choose to join an organization that will send you to faraway places like Afghanistan just to get away from home and dad.
Well, it's a good thing Kaylin can't hear what we're thinking. That's what I was looking for. It's not fair to Kaylin because he doesn't know what we're talking about. Your dad said that you purposefully joined the military so you get to go to faraway places like Afghanistan to get away from, dad working you.
It only took him 5 years to figure that out.
Kaylin says, Brandon, he says it only took you 5 years to figure that out.
I didn't say it was smart.
He says you're a slow learner.
That's funny. See, this is the kind of fun we have. It's nothing about being mean. It's about seeing what kind of shots you can get on each other a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing vicious about this. It's just loving teasing lovingly. All right. So it looks like, and I'll turn them in a second here so that you all can see what I did here, and this is for the audience watching, so you all can see what we did here with crossing the lines. So how that works is, and I might need your help here in case anything falls, Kaylin. I'm going to try to turn both the boys towards the camera. So for those of you that are watching, boys, what we did here is we crossed these lines. Can you all see that, Brandon, on the camera?
Yeah, turn just a little bit more.
All right.
There we go. Oh,
more?
Beautiful. I can see. Yep, that's great.
So we crossed these lines here so that Lewis's right line is attached to Clark's right line, and that's the one Kaylin's holding up. So when I'm in the cart and I pull on that right line, it's pulling both of their bits on the right side. And then same with the left line right here, the one that Kaylin's holding up. Left line on Clark is attached over here, connects to left line on Lewis, and we put them on there backwards. Mm-hmm. Oh, Kaylin, you knew. So, well, what are you thinking, Mr. Brandon? I hitched them up backwards, but Suzanne said she had been switching them around. Should we go with it and see what happens, or would you like me to switch them back?
No, absolutely not. Let's go with it. Let's. What I like to have happen is be able to use my animals anywhere I want them to be, because you never know when you may have to do that for some odd reason. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Yesterday we had Clark on the near side where you would be standing, and Lewis on the offside, so you've got them just the opposite, and I say you go for it. You see what happens. This is a good time to do
Yeah,
that.
I think we'll try it. Thank you, Kaylin, for your support. I appreciate it so much. No, this is a great learning experience for me because I had gotten in such, and this is my own fault for getting in the habit of when I hitched them to the hitching post the last couple times, I already hitched them in the position that I wanted them on the cart, and today I didn't do that. So, well, actually, because Kaylin hitched them for me. Did you do this on purpose? So, okay, so it was a pleasant accident that Kaylin didn't do that on purpose, but you know.
This is normally
Oh, that's funny.
So, no, I think this is a great learning experience for me to be more cognizant of where they are and to see what happens if we're going to switch them around.
Well, and that's a good note to make, that the minute you handle that animal, you're thinking ahead about where am I going to need this horse to be later on, and you be efficient about it instead of having to stop, move one around to the other side. And so, yeah, no, it's all about being as efficient as you possibly can with the least amount of work that you need to put into it. So that's a good learner. But at the same time, you would have done this anyway, purposely. But today it happened to be by, oh, geez, it just happened by mistake. So it's really irrelevant.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that it's just a good time to just continue on.
I agree with you. I mean, like you said, we would have sooner or later swapped them out anyway. This is just, you know, making things move along a little bit more quickly. And I'm confident in their ability, more so than my own at this point, but I think it'll go well.
Yep, I think so too. All right.
Oh, that check rein is.
Yeah, so just do one last little look that you've got everything hooked up correctly and it's laid in the right order. You've got not somebody.
Looks good now.
Like a line that's underneath of another line, like your overcheck or something like that.
It all looks good as far as I can see. What do you think, Kaylin?
Your line's going through the rain carrots on your Hanes?
No.
Are they going through the rain carrots, or are they
no?
Outside?
They're on the outside. Do they need to be going through?
They need to go through that ring. Yep.
Okay. All right, we will fix that situation right now. I'm glad that I wasn't the only one that didn't notice that. Kaylin, am I throwing you under the bus too much?
No.
You can't blame me. Haha.
All right, now, Kaylin did it on one of his two rings, so that makes him, 25% more accurate than me.
Well, there is the old thing where he knows better and didn't, and you didn't know better at all. So who's more at fault?
So your dad said you know better and didn't, and I don't know better at all. So. Well, this will be great once we get my sister involved, because she'll just probably shake her head and laugh at my inability here.
Well,
all right, let me grab a quick drink, and then I will take those.
She will probably think the same of me, even worse, because it's like, oh my God, does this guy know what? And the answer is no, he does not. So,
the guy that's in charge here and training everyone.
I am really looking forward to her insights as to what we're doing. And I mean, her knowledge is far, far beyond mine. So I am really, really looking forward to those times when we can learn from her. To me, it's like, yeah, this is a great opportunity.
And I messaged her yesterday, and she said she would love to be, to partake in, one of our teletraining sessions.
Outstanding.
All right, so are we ready to see if I can drive these guys back into the sorting pen?
You're ready.
All right. G, come on, boys. Lewis is already starting out being lazy here. I don't know why I expected anything different. Oh, this is a bit of a challenge since they're not connected.
Yeah, and this might
be loosely
connected
by the lines.
Well, it is, but this might be a little bit of them being a little bit uncomfortable, or this isn't normal for them. So this might be seeing a little behavior here. It's like, I'm just not sure what I need to do.
Well, this is good. This is, a good test for me and for them. I think right now we're figuring out if I'm the trainer or if they're the trainer. All right, actually, let me take a circle to the left here. Ha! Circle to the, oh, you were perfect there, Kaylin. I was using you as a cone. So maybe right now would be the time for the camera to black out while can there be James, would it be appropriate for now for the ranch cam to go down for 30 seconds?
We were just having a little bit of issues with the camera. Believe it or not, I was running the camera, so anybody can blame me for how fast or slow or jerky it seemed. It was a little learning curve for me, but James has got us all back up online. We actually lost the internet there for a bit, so he's been working to get that going, and nobody knows what he does behind the scenes. He's like Oz. All these things happen, and you never see his face. And all this stuff happening. It's amazing.
Oh, James is our magician. I appreciate all his hard work so much, and I feel like that. And I mean, I don't know. I don't want to speak for him, but I could imagine that would be a little bit of a thankless job because our audience doesn't see everything that he does behind the scenes. So, James, thank you so much for everything you do for us.
Yeah, the credit is minimal. I mean, we get to be the ones on the other end of that camera, and it's easy for people to see us and kind of relate to us at times, but to be able to be really, really cognizant of all of the wheels and spokes and cogs and pins and shafts and axles and bearings that go into making this thing, and the guys that really make it happen, like James, they don't get the notoriety nor the credit sometimes that they truly deserve. So
absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much, James.
And you know how we were swapping that $50 bill back and forth yesterday? I think we just got this mutual admiration.
Yeah, we should give that to him.
That's right. that's why we had to jump into $100 instead of 50. We had
well, and then it would still not be what James is worth.
There you go. That's not an exaggeration.
Gee. All right, so I went ahead and switched direction. Do you all have video right now?
Yes. Yeah. We've had video the whole time, except for just a very short minute or two.
Okay.
We were hooking up or getting them to go over. It was kind of funny.
Easy.
We did get you hooking up, but prior to that, getting them to come around, we did miss a couple of minutes, but we've been on the whole time. They look to me like
so you might have missed the section where the Hames came off because Clark backed up. They both moved in opposite directions, and I didn't know how to bring them back together. So luckily, Kaylin was there to jump right in and grab one of them while I grabbed the other one because they both backed up in opposite directions, but their lines were attached. So that's I was really thankful to have Kaylin because it could have turned into a mess real quick there.
Yeah, no, we did miss that part visually, but we heard you narrate through that, so that was good.
Okay, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, and I'm glad
you
showed that because it explained what was going on, and for us that are on the other end of the camera like this, it's really, really important that we can hear what's going on, and so we can certainly visualize. At the bottom of the collar in front of the horse that just needed to be tightened a little bit, and so you always want to make that as tight as you can so that doesn't happen. So yeah, good job, good fix, good recognition, and we're
well, thank you. I wouldn't have been able to do it without Kaylin there. He jumped right in and helped me get them back close together, so that was good.
Okay, Ixnay on the A's pray because we don't want to split that $100 bill between you, I, James, and him.
Oh, he can't hear me. He's too far away.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see. We don't have no jerseys with that $100 bill now. Yeah, you're looking very good. They look comfortable even on the opposite sides of where they're normally at. So I don't think there's any issue here at all. Really good. Really good. Anya, we are
easy.
Whenever you're ready to wrap it up, we're going to be good because we are almost right at the end of the hour with this, guys. Believe it or not. Time has flown.
Okay, yeah. Do you want me to wrap it up, or would you like me to go into the arena, or what are we thinking?
Well, do what you want. Well, we can give you another 5 minutes. Anything you want to do, just kind of, it'd be nice to drive them through here with the other distractions. And then if you go in the arena, pull them around, and then you can unhitch.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Thank you, Kalen. Come on, Lulu. Lulu's dragging a little bit here. Get him to step up.
Does that help to keep your eye on that yoke to see that it's straight at a 90-degree angle?
Absolutely. Yes,
Okay,
I love that trick.
That's always been a good visual for me. For what little I've driven, it really helps me to keep my animals in draft, more evenly. Of course, that can change if
Absolutely.
you're a shorter animal and your heel chain is not connected very evenly. Then they can pull evenly, and that can be off a little bit. So you just got to make sure you're square to start with.
Who? Could one of you open up the gate all the way for me? Thank you. All right, we've got a helper opening up the gate for us, and then we'll just do a quick lap or maybe a figure 8 in the arena, and then I'll bring them back out and we'll unhitch.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, and then you can do it in the shade. Everything's nice.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Kaylin will. Come on, Lulu. I think Kaylin will appreciate that too if I can keep him in the shade. See, I take good care of your son, Brandon.
Well, I try. You do want to come home occasionally, so you overwork him.
Well, I think that's what happened. He went away.
That's definitely.
Come on, Lou.
And the other one's fighting fire, so he doesn't have to be around us. So how bad is it at home?
Yeah, I mean they'd rather risk their lives than be at home working on the ranch with you.
That's right. They're good help. It's nice.
Gee. Oh, if Braden's anything like Kaylin, then you've got amazing sons.
I do, thank you. And you know what? It's funny is they're so similar yet they're so different. And but they both have their strengths and their preferences and what they like to do and what they're good at. And it's a joy to watch these guys grow up and be young men that are self-sufficient and strong. And
come on, Lou.
Everything's good.
Good.
Very nice. I like
All right,
that.
could I get the gate again, please?
I'm going to tell you your puppy, okay, either in or out. In or out. Very good.
All right, are you all right if we wrap it up here, Brandon?
Yeah, this looks really good. I think you've done a great job. We've learned a few things here together. A couple of problems with like the games, but certainly nothing that was any kind of to get these guys to get hitched up. And the more you do it, the more you're going to be proficient at it and quick. And I think you've done a great job. And we'll just continue on with some more. I think it'd be a good idea early on to have somebody kind of stand by in case you need help, but try to rely on them just as little as possible. And that way, being for you, it's a learning curve, and it is for me as well. It's not always easy to do this and struggle, especially. I struggle to get these guys over a pole and hitched up and ready to go. But you've done a good job. I don't think that's probably all that much different. When you're not practiced or you're just learning too. So, good job.
Yeah.
Good job. So with that, I guess we will probably check out, and I'm waving at you. And
all right, I don't know what camera you're on, but we're waving too.
Yeah, right there. There's one. See you later. All right, you guys. Have a good one.
All right, thank you, Brandon. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.